why dating feels so incredibly hard right now is because we currently have gender wars. But we also have an imbalance of energy. More men are now turning more passive, okay, which is deemed as feminine traits, and more women are turning more masculine. When you have gender wars, there will be no harmony. There will be no let's exist in peace. It's really every man for themselves. Women have got to a point now where they realize they don't need men for survival. So men are now panicking because in order for a man to feel good about himself, he needs to feel needed. But women don't really need you guys anymore. They don't. I know so many women who are like marriage-free, child-free, living life, happy, growing, thriving, like the list goes on. So this is the problem that men are having. The reason why it was easier for you guys to date women back in the day was because women actually didn't have options. They didn't have avenues that they can go down. So women were actually coming from a place of scarcity rather than abundance. Now, women have an abundant mindset. They don't need to settle. They do not. They actually don't. Men want us to settle because if women don't settle, then that means men aren't going to be picked anymore.
It's interesting to watch the conversations on this app. The people complaining about not being approached are often the same ones who say they want to dismantle the very norms that traditionally encouraged men to approach in the first place.
So this guy that's been trying to take me out, finally picked a day. And so I was like, okay, well, what time and where? And he said, well, I don't know. Do you like coffee? Now, on a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being super big and 0 being no big at all, can I respond never on a first date?
This is the exact attitude that is honestly exhausting for men. My honest advice is to please show this attitude off as soon as possible to the men that you're speaking to, because at least then they will have an honest take of who you are as a person and how it would be to be in a relationship with you. And then at least that man will be free to either just focus on his own peace or find somebody else to focus on.
Dating is fucking exhausting. You meet someone, you make small talk, you ask them on a date, you get to know them on this date if they show up, you have a great time, or you don't. You let them know that you had a great time after, and they will too, or they won't. But if they do, you keep the conversation going until they don't respond and fucking ghost you, so you part ways. And then you start all over again. Bye-bye, ta-ta.
A coffee date is just a quick way to see if two people even enjoy each other's company. Anyone who dismisses that right away probably isn't looking for a connection. They're looking for an experience, preferably one someone else pays for.
I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. Like this year, man, it's been so tough. Me and dating, just overall. Dating this girl for a bit, right? It was going well, but you know, I did everything. I honestly, I did everything. I was, you know. So I'm trying to get ready to go to the gym. Because, like, the gym just kind of just generally makes me happy. And right now, I'm just, But I look a complete mess as well. My hair's all over the shop. Oh, my goodness. I've been this girl for, I don't know, 6 weeks, 7 weeks or something. Around a great time. And, you know, I went up and beyond. You know, I did up and beyond. You know, like surprised her, went with flowers. She came over to my house. You know, I surprised her with flowers there. Got her a car. Got her like some snacks, etc. So she felt like home, whatever, right? And then, yeah, just get sent a text saying, yeah, no. I'm just like, I've really given up, really, now when it comes to dating. Like, I put all my heart in, I put everything into people, and I don't get anything back, man. And obviously it's a learning experience and all that stuff, but at the same time, I'm just like, it is tough, man. And like, I genuinely believe for me right now, I'm just like gonna take a break. Like, I knew it was coming as well. It was just a tough week. You know, I wasn't really hearing from her as much, and this, and just a nail in the coffin as well, man.
Modern dating has become a strange environment. People move through it treating others like they're disposable. Looking back, the real mistake was investing too much energy in a system that was never built to value it.
I told you, guys are tired. Guys are tired of you. They're tired of you pretending to want to take them seriously when you really just want the free drinks. They're tired of going up to you and you being like, thanks for the drink, you know, doing this game you do. Tired. They're tired of the takers. They're tired. They don't want to deal with any of that. They're tired of, oh, you know, you meet all of these qualifications, right? You know, you got all the qualifications, and she's talking to you and she's like, oh, but, you know, there's this one thing. He has a boat and it's red, and I don't like the color red. Oh, right? Because they feel like they can be so picky that they've got everything met, but they can just nitpick about everything, right? They're tired of you. You want guys to come up to you, change your attitude, change your strategy, treat them differently, and that's going to happen over a long period of time, right? It took decades to get here. Guys finally saying, I am done with you. And social media played a big part because now they go on socials and they see women talking all their crap. So they're like, oh, I know what's going on now behind the scenes. When I walk away after buying you that drink, I know you're making a fool out of me. They're like, I'm done. You're going to make a fool out of me? Honey, now I'm going to make a fool out of you. I'm going to sit at that bar. I'm going to drink my scotch. I'm not buying you nothing. I'm not even looking your way. That's what's going on. Change your attitude. It's going to take a long time for guys to feel like you've changed genuinely, and then you'll see. But for now, especially in the cities, guys are just sitting back with their drink, and they're just letting this drama unfold. It's hilarious. It's like, you know, they're frazzled cats. Frazzled cats. Ooh, very entertaining.
Rather than forcing something that doesn't feel right, some men just explore other parts of the world, and in many cases, they find the respect and appreciation they were looking for all along.
So I saw a report saying 82% of single men have officially clocked out of the dating game. And I know y'all think we're just being difficult, but honestly, half of us are just being humanitarians. I look at my bank account, my mental health, and this pile of laundry I haven't folded in over a week, and I'm like, nah, I can't drag a beautiful woman into this circus. That'd be a crime. I'm not single because I can't find you. I'm single because I'm protecting your peace. You're welcome for not ruining your year.
Even a number like 82% doesn't really change the dynamic. If one man is still willing to hand out endless validation, a lot of women will orbit around him. The appetite for attention doesn't go away. It just finds the nearest source.
Women have been trained for thousands of years to put up a finer filter for mating so they can pick the strongest, smartest, and fastest seed. The way that eventually these couples ended up together was that the man had an opportunity to demonstrate excellence. I liked how he treated his parents at church. I worked with him, and he was so good at what he did, I found myself attracted and drawn to him. Where does a man, in a world of remote work, a lack of church attendance, not going to school, where do men demonstrate excellence now?
Right.
And so what you have is there's just fewer venues for a man to demonstrate excellence. And now that everything's gone online, it gets reduced down to a small number of dimensions. And a lot of people, a lot of women now, and are trained this way a little bit from media to say, you're a strong, independent woman, and every yellow flag is a red flag. And unfortunately, online, it distills down to two basic criteria for men. Your ability to signal wealth or worth through your Rolex excellently ends up in the profile picture, or you've dropped that you work at Google and graduated from Dartmouth, and your height. And I don't know if you've seen this thing online, but when they ask women, what are your minimum standards, the two most common responses or criteria are 6 feet, 6 figures. 6 feet, 6 figures. That's the basic. And the general view when you hear these women say this is that that's not a lot to ask. Just 6 feet, 6 figures. If you take out married men, obese men, and men over the age of 50, that's 2% of the population.
Spend enough time observing modern dating, and one thing becomes obvious. A lot of women are holding out for the same type of man. 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, the whole checklist. That's the standard that keeps getting repeated. And if a man doesn't meet those exact markers, he's usually filtered out before anything even begins. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.